Recognize those areas and set tasks related to improvement of those particular areas in that particular study routine. Hi everyone, my name is Shalima and welcome back to my another session of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. So today I have a very important, a very focused formula of improving and learning your English. Now this is a particular approach, a learning method through which you can improve your English and also increase your English fluency. And this is going to be, really beneficial for your English fluency. And that is the project based approach to learning English. Yes, you have heard correctly, project based approach to learn English. So now this project based approach is very focused approach, that this is a perfect if you want to become fluent in English, if you are really dedicated and passionate towards improving your fluency. So this particular kind of technique works really well. If you are willing to really take up your fluency to the next level, so if you want to take your English level one step ahead, use this technique, use this approach in order to improve your English. Alright guys, before beginning, please subscribe to the channel for all the lessons that you get on this channel, and also like the video and share it with your friends too. Okay, so coming back to today's lesson, that is the project based approach to learning English. Alright, so now this is an approach that is very focused and targeted. Okay, if you are willing to learn English, if you are dedicated towards learning English, and if you want to take up this to the next level to your fluency, then this is the perfect approach for you. And I suggest this is an approach where you are looking for, better results in less amount of time. Okay, less amount of time, and you are putting in all your efforts and maximizing the result. So the result is the maximum, the best possible result you will get. So the question is, what is this exactly, the project based learning? See, the project based learning is the key. And if you are a student, I'm sure you must have done a lot of projects during your school time, your college time, right? So the project based approach, when you do a project, what you do, you have to put it in all your efforts, in your hand-in-hand work. Your efforts, your skills and your knowledge is basically, it's a combination of everything. So you do research and then there is this outcome. This task that you have done, and you are evaluate on the basis of your performance you will have performed during this particular task. So what is the end result? That's why you are really serious about it. Here your knowledge is being evaluated. Similarly, if you are a professional and you take up a project, it is to demonstrate your professional skills, your work competency, how good you are at your work, that you are an expert of your work field, okay, of your work area. You demonstrate your skills, your expertise, your experience through a project. The work that you are doing on a project, again, that's very important because that is your profession. What you do in your life is your career. So definitely you are going to take that project with a very serious approach. That is the approach we are looking towards learning English. Exactly. Same approach, that is, it's your priority. It's compulsory and you are really serious about learning English. It's not something that you are doing on a day and not doing it for another 2 days. You are taking it lightly, no, because it is a project for you. That means this is not important. This is important because a project in your life is important, whether as a student or whether as a professional. Now, how to have this project based approach, how to take it up? I have 4 ways, 4 methods for you through which you can take the project based approach towards learning English language. So let's look all the 4 methods. Method number 1 is, or the task number 1 is take a challenge, take an English learning challenge. Now it can be a 7 days challenge, it can be 1 month challenge, okay, or it can be 6-week challenge, or it can be 100 days challenge. All right, these are the challenges where is important while learning English. Now why do you need to take up a challenge? Because at times you might not prioritize learning English, but when you are taking up as a challenge, you are creating your mindset for you that yes, you have to do it. It is a compulsory for you, and it's really important for you. Why? Because when we take something as a challenge, we actually treat it with a very competitive attitude, because if you fail in that challenge, that means you failed in your abilities and in your skills, and that is something that we never want to prove, that we are failing at something, right? So we want to win that. The natural instinct, that's a natural instinct that we have inside us, that when we take up as a challenge, we want to win, we want to prove ourselves as a winner, and this instinct is going to help you in being consistent towards learning English. When you take up an English learning challenge, so challenges are great way to have a project based approach, to have a serious approach towards learning English. Take up as a challenge and stick to it. Now taking up a challenge is very easy, but following it through, that's difficult. The thing is that you have to take up the challenge and you have to follow it through, whether you are taking as a 7 days challenge or a 6-week challenge or a 100 days challenge. Okay, it's up to you. Now, how to design a challenge, how to take up a challenge, do not worry about that. I have already 2 or 3 or 4 videos for you, that is 7 days listening challenge that I have created you in English, and the second video, this is also a recent video that I have posted, 6 weeks English learning challenge. And I suggest to take up a challenge, take either one, or but take it another one. You want to start with something light, you can just take 7 days challenge, okay, and then take the 6 weeks challenge, and this is going to help you a lot in improving your English, and having a very focused and project based mindset towards learning English. So here I am going to talk about the approach number 2, and the approach number 2 is evaluate your efforts. Now you have to evaluate your efforts. See, evaluating progress is important, and evaluating process is something that you need to do. But in order to evaluate the progress, you have to take up few tasks, and you have at least learned English for a period of time, and then after that, in that time period, you have to look back, you have to compare. Evaluation is a more difficult process. A lot of people find difficulties in evaluating their progress, but evaluating your efforts, that's easier and easier than the progress, because you know what you are doing. When you are evaluating your efforts, what you have to do is you have to just evaluate whether you are doing what you were doing supposed to do or not. So evaluating your efforts is like you are taking up as a challenge, and you know that you have to do these 5 tasks. So evaluating your efforts is making a checklist, and then checklist it out each task, whether you are taking up the task or not. So if you are taking up the task, if you are completing your task with all your dedication, at least you are making the right efforts. Now, how much these efforts are going to give you results, it depends from situation to situation. So what we control is making those efforts. That's what we can control. So be positive, and you have to evaluate your efforts. That if you were supposed to do 2 tasks in a particular day, you are doing, okay, both the tasks you are doing it or not. What are you doing? If you have planned 7 different tasks, in a week, so how many of those tasks did you complete? So that is evaluating. Okay, your efforts, what kind of efforts you are making towards learning English. When you will evaluate your efforts, obviously guys, you will have a very focused approach. You will know what to do and what you are not doing, and what is left to do and what is required for you. So you have to do it in order to improve your English to approach. Okay, so here I'm going to share the approach number 3. There is to create a study routine. Now you must have a routine. If you are particular about learning English, about improving your fluency, you must have a particular routine. Alright, so if you don't have a steady routine, you will end up learning random things in English, and you will not learn the things that you are supposed to learn. Alright, the things that you are to practice in order to improve the areas of weaknesses. Everybody has certain areas of strengths and weaknesses, and I too have. So what are the areas where you need to put in more efforts, recognize those areas and set tasks related to improvement of those. Guys, if you want to improve your vocabulary, you are setting the tasks to improve it in a particular steady routine. If you are following it for at least 3 days in a week, for example Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so that's your vocab study routine. Okay, create these kind of study routines to stay particular about that. And whatever you are just learning is, you have to stay punctual. Okay, don't have a particular routine, then learn random things at random times, and often you adopt the habit of letting it go, of taking it very well lightly, not in a serious way. And that's why often you think that we are making efforts, we are learning English from such a long time, but we are not improving. Why is this happening? That's the reason. So stay focused, create a steady routine so that you have something particular to learn every day in English. Okay, so here I'm going to share the English approach number 4. Now the approach number 4 is to give priority to learning English, and it is your priority. Or do you compromise on your time of learning English? If you are thinking that I am going to learn English for 30 days or for 30 minutes, so you need to make it your priority and prioritize your English learning time that you have set aside. Do not compromise it. Okay, do not switch it for some other task. For example, making a project for your professional or educational purpose. I know that is important, guys, that is important, but at least give 10 minutes to learning English. If you were supposed to give 30 minutes and you have to make a file, then just give 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes to learning English. So that's your habit of learning English. And English does not break instead of watching TV, instead of scrolling through internet, social media. Prioritize English learning, give priority to learn English. English is there are always going to be tasks that would be seen as your priority. Always excuses that will be there, that you were not able to learn English today because of this reason, because of that, because of something important came up, you were supposed to do that work. Okay, so or sometimes your friends came to meet you, whatever the reason, you still should prioritize learning English, because if you are not going to prioritize it, it will never become something serious in your life. And until and unless you have a serious approach, a project based approach towards it, you will not be able to improve it and get your desired result. Now results that you inspire to get what do, where you are absolutely fluent. So if you want that, you need to prioritize learning English, prioritize that time frame during which you are learning English each day, at least on the set number. Guys, there were the 4 approaches, 4 ways through which you can take up the project based learning approach towards learning English, which is going to improve your fluency a lot. So I hope, guys, you are going to take up this particular approach, and you are going to start from today itself. That was the lesson for today, guys. And if you like the video, please give thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel. So thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care.